Today, we're going to add a size chart to your Shopify store. We have a few different ways to approach this, but they're all pretty straightforward. So, if you're new to customizing your Shopify store, this is a great one to learn with. We've got plenty more customizations on this channel, so be sure to check those out too. And as always, if you have a customization that you want to see, make sure to subscribe and prompt us in the comments below. All right, let's add some size charts. So, let's take a look at our demo store. We've got a simple product listing, and we're going to add a size chart somewhere in this area around the description. So let's go to our admin area and we're going to go to pages and we're going to create a new page. And that page is going to be for our size chart. Now you'll see in a bit why we're going to be using a page. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to add either a table. So you can insert a table and then you can uh, add rows to build out your table, right? So you could say size, and you can adjust the column widths. And this could be length and width. And then you can add your numbers in. So it's like 30 inches. So for example, that's how you can build it out. What you could also do is you could build it in a spreadsheet, which makes it a little bit easier, and just copy and paste it in. So I've got my own table here that I've already created, and you can just copy and paste it in here. But actually, what's an even better method than just creating a table um, is to use an image. So first, what we can do is we could just do a quick preview of what this would look like. Right. So this is what it would look like. It's not the best format. So let's just delete this. And then we're going to add an image. Now, you can create nice looking size charts with Canva. We use this for some of our graphic design. They've got it's a free tool with lots of different templates that you can use. So you could look through here, find one that you like, and create your size chart from here. So I've already gone ahead and done that. And we can come back to our page and just add an image. And so I'm just going to add, say, this first one here. Okay, so we've got our image in there. We can take a look. This is what it looks like. Okay, so now that we've got our size chart created in the page, we can move on to the next step. Let's head back to our themes area. And we've got a fresh install of Dawn. And so we're going to do the demo on this theme. And before you make any changes, just make sure to duplicate your theme. In case anything goes wrong, you can always revert back. So let's go ahead and customize. And we're going to go to our product and default product. And let's just change this to our t-shirt. Okay. So we have three different ways that we can add the size chart to our product page. The first way is inline. So we could just kind of put it above or below the text here. You could actually just put it in the product description itself. But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to add it to every single product's description, which is going to be a bit of a hassle. So we can just add it directly in the theme. Now, if we're going to add it directly to the theme, it means that every product shares the same size chart. But if you have a pretty simple product catalog and they all do share that same size chart, this is a great way to do it. So let's start with this. And then later on, I'll show you how to make it more dynamic, how we can have different size charts for different products. So like I mentioned, the first method is inline. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a custom liquid block. Now, ideally, we could just add a page block that we can add in there, but that's not something that's built into Shopify. So we're going to use the custom liquid block instead. And we're going to just copy and paste a little bit of code into this block right here. Okay, so we can see here already that it just shows up. So we can just drag this up and now we have our size chart in line with our product information. So that's method number one. Method number two is to use a drop-down menu. So we can open up a new block, and we have here a collapsible row. Okay, so let's move this up as well. Let's place this right there. Okay, so this collapsible row creates a section where you can reveal some additional information by opening it and hiding it if we're closing it. And so that's really useful for your product page if you want to add different categories and keep the product page pretty compact. So we have our collapsible row, and we can actually just select a page here, and we can select our size chart, select. And now if we open this up, you can see here the size chart is inside of our collapsible row, and we can close that up and it's hidden there. Okay, and now the third method is using a pop-up. And so we can just go to add block, add a pop-up, and again, we can just, let's say, bring this up here. In fact, we may actually want to bring this one all the way up below the variant picker, right? So right beside the size there. Um, and with this one, you can select a page. Let's call it a size chart here and select. And we can just rename this to size chart. And now if we click this, a page is going to show up, and it should show the size chart page. Maybe we just should save this and refresh our page, and we can just view it over here. So there we go. We have our size chart there. It makes it a little bit larger, but um, it's a really nice feature where we can pop up the size chart and get a better view of it. So those are the three methods that we can do. And like I mentioned, if you use the same size chart for all of your products, you're pretty much done. You can just choose one of these three methods and that's it. But most of you probably have different size charts for different products. Or in some cases, you don't want a size chart. So, how do we handle that? Well, we could potentially create a new template for every scenario. So, in order to do that, you can go to products and then create template, and then you can just base it on the default product, and then you would create a different size chart that's fixed in that template for every scenario. But that could be very difficult to manage and maintain, especially if you have a lot of templates. So we have to think about not just how do we manage one product, but how do we manage the entire store's catalog. So with that in mind, my favorite way to handle this is with a metafield and a little bit of custom code too. If you've never created a meta field or used custom code before, don't worry, I'll take you through it step by step. So the first step is to head over to the custom data area under settings, and we're going to open up the products meta field definition. And we're going to add a new definition, and we're going to call this size chart. Okay, and then the size chart is going to be type page. So we'll save that. And now if we go back to our product page on the admin side and just refresh, we can scroll down to the bottom and we'll see all the meta fields available. And the new one we just created, size chart, is available. And so let's say in this case, the size chart that we want to pull is going to be the size chart we just created here. Okay. And so we've just assigned this product to this size chart. Now, if we have a different product, we can say go back to our products and go to this other t-shirt here. So we have a different t-shirt here. It's got this little computer chip here. And if we scroll down here, we have the meta field available. It's empty because we haven't assigned it yet. And we could give it a different page. So this is how we can map different size charts to different products, right? It can be dynamic in this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new page. So let's open up our online store area, and we're going to go back to the pages, and we're going to create a new page. We'll just call this size chart 2. and we're going to add a different image. We're going to add this dark one here. Okay, so we'll save. Now if we head back to our t-shirt here, refresh, and we can now select our size chart too. Okay, so let's save that. So now that the meta fields are created, we can come back to the theme editor and revisit how we added the size charts. We had the inline method, we had the collapsible row method, and we had the pop-up method. So I'm going to remove the previous versions that we created, but we're going to add these back in and we're going to use the dynamic method. So if we have different size charts for different products as we just set up, then we'll be able to show those. Okay, so let's start with the inline method. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go and edit code, and we're going to open the main product.liquid file. Okay, so this is a section, and it's actually the section right here, product information, that controls all this information in this right column here. So we're going to hit Control F so we can find the custom underscore liquid line right here. So it's looking for when custom liquid. And this block is what we used the first time around for the inline method. But what we're going to do this time is create a brand new block. So we can just copy and paste our code. So it'll be a page block. And we're not going to format this just yet so that we can see where we added this code. Next, we're going to look for the schema. There we go. All right, so the schema tag here is what starts all the different settings for this section. And under the blocks here, we can, let's just go under the app, and we're going to copy and paste our schema code right here. Okay, and we're just going to save. So we'll come back to our theme editor, and we're just going to save because we deleted those previous size charts, and refresh. And if we add block, we should have this new page block here. So let's add that in. And we have an option to select the page. So we're going to actually not select the page, but connect dynamic source. And we're going to select our size chart meta field. And we can see here our size chart's showing up. But it's also showing the title. So I'm going to just hide the title there because we don't need that in there. Okay, so if we just save and then go back to our store and refresh, we can now see our size chart there. We can actually shift this up a little bit. So let's say we want it above the description. Okay, let's save that again. There we go. So now it's right underneath the buy buttons. But we also had a different shirt with a different size chart. So let's take a look at that. And you can see here, it's got a different size chart associated with this product. If we go to an even different product, so this one doesn't have any size chart assigned to it, it just doesn't show up. So this is how you can handle the 3 different scenarios just by using metafields and this new custom page block to put the size chart in line. Okay, so let's come back to the theme editor and add the collapsible tab version. So we're going to add block again, and then collapsible row. And we can move this up to beneath the buy buttons. And similar to last time, we can select a page, but this time we're going to select from our meta field. So we'll just select our size chart meta field. Let's rename this to size chart. And we can also even change the icon. So we didn't do this last time, but this is also things that we could have done last time. And so let's just save this and do a little preview of what this can look like. So we'll refresh. We've got our size chart there. And if we pull that open, it'll reveal our size chart. For this product, if we pull our size chart open, it'll reveal this size chart, right? So we've got the right size chart for the right product. And then for our third product, where there is no size chart, we're going to see that we pull it open and nothing shows up. So if we don't actually have a size chart for our product, If we're using the collapsible row, it will still show up, and that's not what we want. So we're going to add a small little customization for the collapsible row so that if it's empty, it's just not going to show it at all. So we're going to come back to our code and we're going to search for collapsible tab. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a little bit of space right underneath, and we're going to copy and paste our code here. And then we're going to see there's this next block quantity selector. We're going to add a little space right above it, and we're just going to close our if statement. And again, we're not going to format it right away because we just want to see where those edits are. But after, when we're all done, we can just format with this button here. Okay, so now we can go to the collapsible tab settings. So we just search for collapsible tab. It'll take us down to the schema right around 1060. And we are going to add an additional setting. So the settings portion starts here. If we just kind of click here, it'll highlight our square bracket. And we're just going to look for the pairing of that bracket. And that's where the settings end. We're just going to create a little space, add a comma, and paste our additional setting right there. So let's save. And we can come back to our theme editor. Let's refresh. And we've got our new setting right here. So we're just going to click that, save. And what this does, it's going to hide the empty collapsible tabs. So if we come back to our pants here, right, there's an empty tab. Let's refresh, and it'll disappear. But if we refresh on a product that does have the size chart in the collapsible tab, it's still going to show. Okay, so that's our collapsible tab method, and we can use it for different size charts with different products, and we can also do it for products that don't have a size chart. Okay, let's come back to our theme editor again, and we're going to do the final method, the pop-up. So let's add our pop-up. We're again going to just place it right underneath the variant pickers, and we can rename this again. So size chart. And we can also select our metafield. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to save. Let's come back to our product. So it shows up there. If we open our size chart, we get our size chart for this version of the shirt. If we refresh here, we'll get our other size chart here, right? So again, it's matching the product. And if we come to our third product, there is no size chart assigned here, so it'll just open an empty page. So similar to the collapsible tab, we don't want that to show up. So we're again going to do a similar modification to the code so that it'll hide it. So we'll come back to our code, and we're going to search for pop-up. I think this is going to show up a few more times, so we might have to, we'll actually use this when, and we'll have the quotations around it. When pop-up, there we go. So we're going to create a little space here and copy and paste our code. And then right before the next when, right here, when share, right above it, we're going to close the if statement there. And then next, we're going to look for the code for block in pop-ups. It'll be a few hundred lines down, around 700 after you've added the extra code. So we're looking for this for block in pop-ups. And if we look here, this is how that extra pop-up is being shown. And we can see here, we've got block settings page title and block settings page content. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to create an option to hide the title of the page, right? So this is showing up here, size chart 2. This is showing up here, size chart. So we're going to add a few lines right above this H1 class here, and a couple lines below. And we're going to add this if statement above, and we're going to close it below it right there. And now we're going to Control F. We're going to search for pop-up. It's going to take us to the bottom to the schema section. And we're going to look for the type pop-up section, right? We're going to see the settings. We're going to highlight our square bracket. We see it ends right here. So we'll add a comma, a couple of spaces, and then we're going to copy and paste our additional settings right here and save. Okay. So now let's come back to our theme editor and we're going to refresh our page. And we see we've got these 2 extra settings now. So we're going to activate both of them and save. And now if we come back to our product page and refresh, we're going to see that the pop-up link disappears because there is no size chart for it. But if we come here and we refresh, that size chart is still showing up. But if we click it, you can see that the title is gone. Same thing here. We're going to have our size chart, but if we click here, the title is gone. All right, so that's it. You now know 3 new ways to add your size charts to your product page, and you can customize them any way you want to best match your own theme. Best of all, it's flexible to handle different size charts for different products, and it works even for products that don't need size charts. So let me know if this works for you, and if anything wasn't clear, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.